not they off in my.
Allow the two it's okay. It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay. She off your mind. Like me.
Chai. Now wow. People were supposed to talk through to.
Hello there.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun Live.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í.
Thank you so much for joining me from wherever you are joining from. Today, the 29th of May, 2023, Nigeria sworn in their 16th president in the person of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Story long ago, but share the broadcast.
Kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ ṣe o kẹgbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Àní ẹ̀sùn rà kì í. Mayegun ti dé.
Thank you.
Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rà kì í. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rà kì í. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook.
Subsidy is gone. Day one announcement of Kolu is that subsidy is gone. Therefore, from tomorrow, you can begin to buy a liter of petrol for 400 naira, 500 naira in preparation for Dangote refinery. I told you.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá.
Thank you. For the sake of those who are likely going to be joining us for the first time, especially those who are going to stumble on this broadcast, let us shorten the starting paparazzi. Today, Bola Ahmed Tinubu became the 16th president of Nigeria. Kashim Shettima became the vice president of Nigeria. Despite all of the baggages and the mood of Nigerians, home and abroad, can be gauged on this program tonight. Because there's going to be a segment where you can call in, especially if you are watching from Nigeria. But before we go fully into what happened at Kolu's inauguration, I want to take you round and round a little bit about, on what happened elsewhere. Because today, as they were swearing in Tinubu as the 16th president of Nigeria, there were other states. They were also receiving either the renewal of the tenure of their governor or a new governor entirely. There were dramas everywhere. Okay? But just before we fully go as well, I kind of want to apologize to a lot of us who were here last night. And I didn't even say goodbye. I will tell you more on that too later. So if you are joining us for the first time, what you need to do first is try like the broadcast. That is to show that you are here before the riot will start in the comment section. Okay, yeah, it's going to be riotous tonight. All right. Last night, when the Lagos Abobakus on their way to Abuja, right? This clip surfaced. We're going to start from there.
On your mandate, Bola, on your mandate, Bola, on your mandate, we shall stand. On your mandate, we shall stand. On your mandate.
They were going to Abuja. Even though the opposition, the obedient, the articulators, some are saying that the mandate that he is going to return. But let's talk about today. Yesterday. Why those ones were on their way to Abuja? Buhari, at least for the last time, attended the state banquet in the honor of Tinubu. Now, at that banquet, that was where Buhari started kind of sharing his experience being in charge of Nigeria. He now kind of, likened the rearing his cows to ruling a country or governing a country, Nigeria. So he said his cows were easily controlled than Nigerians. It's partially kind of, it's kind of right. Because the last 8 years has been the battle upon battle brought upon Nigerians by APC. Egbekegbe, be it economy, be it security, human rights, law and order, rule of law, all the battle that has faced Nigerians in the last 8 years. They've resisted him. They've pushed back. People have lost their lives. People have lost their freedom. Others have been exiled in a democracy. So he confessed that Nigerians are not easily controlled, even if you use force. So he would prefer his cows, because soon he was so happy to go back to his cows. And as so many people have said, selfish from the start and selfish to the end. A sociopath called Buhari. And it is just part one of what Nigerians are still going to face. You see, this Kolu, his own case, is like Buhari Pro Max. If you don't understand what that means, I have some clips here for you tonight. Day one. But from last night, let's go back there. Buhari.
I congratulate fellow Nigerians who have realized their power, that their votes count. I'm looking forward to tomorrow to fly to my base and go back to my cows and sheep, which are much easier to control than fellow Nigerians. But I have to reduce their number because I cannot save enough to buy them feeds. Your Excellencies, heads of state and government, and their representatives that come to share this day with us, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I thank you very much. And I said goodbye to you, and I wish us the best of luck.
Did you see that? When Buhari was to become a Nigeria president in 2015, according to them, and according to his record in the code, at the Code of Conduct Bureau, they said unproductive, non-progressive Buhari had 150 cows when Babangida kicked him out in 1985. But by 1995, even when he started working for Abacha, Buhari had 150 cows. By 2003, when he ventured that he wanted to be president against Obasanjo then, Buhari had 150 cows. By 2007, Buhari had 150 cows. Ladies and gentlemen, by 2011, 150 cows. By 2015, 150 cows. But by 2019, he could no longer count them. In fact, with the video you just seen there, he is worried on how to feed them because there are so many now. As Nigeria shrank, Buhari and gang, they were smiling to the banks. It will be paid 1.2 billion naira as severance package. I don't know if you all know that anyway. 1.2 billion is what they will pay him as severance for serving and then ruling you for 8 years. Anyway, afterward, when it was done, after saying goodbye, he decided to walk Kalu out. I think that was the moment it's down on him. A lot of people gave it different meaning. This clip, let me show you.
President Muhammadu Buhari is exiting office in a few hours.
Did you see that? He tapped his seat for the last time, as like, this is last time I'm going to touch this seat. Yeah? Then he banged it like, bah. Others said, no, that's not what they felt. Others said, oh, maybe Buhari was like, you people have shown me shege. Finally, I am away from this place. Whatever meaning you want to give to it. Do you want to see it again? Here.
President.
Do you see that?
President Muhammad.
Whatever that means. That's part of the drama preceding today. Today's drama is different. We haven't gotten to that part of what really happened today yet in Abuja. We are still just going here and there for now. Just so you know. Now here in Kano, crowd control became a problem when they were doing their own governorship swearing in. Poor construction, crowd control, whatever happened, right? They had to pause the inauguration of their new governor because yesterday, Gandola called the new governor and said, I want to hand over today. That was yesterday, Sunday. So if you are ready, because I'm going to Abuja to attend Tinubu's inauguration, swearing in. So they rebuffed him, so they didn't listen to him. So Gandola just left every document, everything inside the government house, Abuja. So today, when their canopy was I'll show you. Take a look. to be like, hold on here, hold on there. Just a quick kind of, forewarning. This is the first time we are using the new camera for a full-time broadcast, okay? Or should I say for full-time streaming? So I may encounter any kind of unexpected interruption. So I kind of want to apologize ahead, okay? I don't envisage one, but I can always anticipate one, right? Finally, they swear for the new governor. After swearing for the new governor, it was time for him to move to the Kano State Government House. Another drama ensued. When he got in, he was offered the seat normally reserved for the governor, which means the seat that Gandola used to sit on. So a security detail or what have you pushed the seat for him to sit as the new governor. And right there, he rejected that seat and pulled the nearby seat. And that also became, kind of talk of the town. According to some people, at least the guy is just being careful. Whatever that means, I'll show you. Africa, sure you get. You can't just be too careful. According to them, yeah, it's just being careful. Who knows what they have planted on the seeds, in quotes. Then there's also another drama also. This time around, though, we are leaving Kano. Let's go to Abuja. Okay? So, when all the dignitaries, I expect, right, like invited the dignitaries, or VIPs, you call them. So when they started arriving, there were boxes, kind of reserved for them. So the governor of Anambra State, as the governor of one of the federating states in Nigeria, like that should be an automatic, Abi. Whatever happened, this happened.
They don't bounce our governor. They don't agree make our governor enter inside. They don't bounce our governor. Soludo on red. They don't agree making enter inside. He's explaining himself to the DSS and security details. They don't bounce our governor. They don't bounce our governor. They don't bounce our governor. They don't agree make our governor go inside.
It's not funny. I hope you kind of know that, right? It's not really funny. But I can't tell you not to laugh. So the event, that incident was later controlled. And he eventually went in. But come on, Soludo, governors, a state governor. What kind of, like, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. But he went in eventually. Where he sat. In fact, let me see if I still have that court. At a point, some people took his picture when he finally sat, when he was like finally seated. So they said he's probably raging for that embarrassment that they had to make him kind of have to walk around, and the rest of that, when they could have just been allowed, they would have allowed him in, and he could have walked through the aisle, maybe offer greetings, greet the VIPs, in that box. So they had to tell him that, no, you have to go through that side or something. or somebody came in to say, he's the governor. No, let him in. He's governor of Anambra. Okay, governor of Anambra. We are going to pass through the other side. So the drama is like kind of was cooking then. So all sorted, everyone seated. So it was time, show time. There was no report of any incidents outside the inauguration place. So that is why, or should I say, there were no reports of incidents outside the venue before this report. Is that not what the media will say? Journalists, they will say, we have no verified report of any outside incident like protest, like police tear gassing people, or people being harassed at the gate and all that. Uninvited people, uninvited Nigerians. So that we didn't have all that reports before we are kind of streaming this. So if there are any later after this report or after this broadcast, of course, call it update later. So after all of that drama and few others that are not really significant, they're not really, they're just, it was time to swear for the two of them, Shettima and Tinubu. And traditionally, it is the Chief Justice of Nigeria that will perform that. Okay? So let's go back to the venue where Shettima took his own oath of office. And the credit for this video is that of Channels Television, by the way. If you want to watch the whole event, full clip, you can do so on their YouTube channel. So this portion is where Shettima was taking the oath of office for the record.
Federal Republic of Nigeria. So help me God. Judicial oath. I, Kashim Shettima, do solemnly swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria. As Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I will discharge my duties and perform my functions honestly to the best of my ability and faithfully in accordance with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the law. That I will abide by the code of conduct contained in the 5th schedule of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That I will not allow my personal interest to influence my official conduct or my official decisions. That I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So help me God.
So that is how Shetima became, should I say, the 16th vice president of Nigeria. Now, let's go to that of Kolu, the swearing in of Kolu today. Watch this.
I, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, do solemnly swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and that I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So help me God.
Upload it small. Upload it small.
Bola Ahmed Tinubu, do solemnly swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, that as President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I will discharge my duties and perform my functions honestly, to the best of my ability, and faithfully, in accordance with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the law. That I will abide by the Code of Conduct contained in the 5th schedule to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That I will not allow my personal interests to influence my official conduct or my official decisions. That I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So help me God.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please a round of applause for the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as he takes his...
Yes, sir. So that's how Tinubu becomes the 16th President of Nigeria after administering the oath of office, an oath of allegiance on him. And immediately that was done, the social media took over and Nigerians started expressing and distancing themselves. Oh, it is Black Monday, not my president. Oh, it's a, you know what I mean? Like people are reacting currently. And part of them is that they call today a Black Friday, the day democracy died. So when the poets want to write about the day democracy died, they can use this kind of image on your screen and use that to express how they feel. Even though the Eko for sure and the rest, Abuja is also kind of agogo for those who went there for the moment until Tinubu started reminding them the day democracy died. So now America sent a message through their Secretary for Urban or Housing, what have you? Okay, let's listen to her. Then we can then start hearing what Kolu has in stock for you. The drama go long, and it is just starting. It's not even going to warn you. But we'll get to that. America, okay, hang on. Immediately they handed over. You saw Buhari there earlier, Abi, where he was given the honor of an easy, smooth passage. like this one. So they gave him that easy passage back to Daura. And when he landed in Katsina, the school children were on the streets, lining the both sides of the road to wave flag and welcome him back home. But we'll get to that one later, because this is not just, it's not about him yet. After Buhari left, which I believe is all about, after the whole thing, because the whole swearing in, the whole ceremony didn't last longer than 50 minutes, except for the drama prior. But here is the message from the President of the United States of America. So Nigeria people and Nigeria president or presidiot Tinubu.
Hello, I'm Marcia Fudge, United States Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. I am honored to lead the United States presidential delegation to attend today's inauguration of His Excellency, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. President Biden looks forward to working with the Tinubu administration to strengthen U.S.-Nigeria relationship and advance shared priorities. Those include promoting economic growth, increasing trade and investment, supporting democratic institutions, advancing human rights, countering terrorism and insecurity, and tackling climate change. A key tenet of the U.S. strategy towards sub-Saharan Africa is to rebalance toward urban hubs. Africa's population is growing faster than that of any other region and will be majority urban by the end of the decade. Nigeria is Africa's largest economy and democracy, its most populous country, and home to its largest city, Lagos. As Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, I look forward to engaging with our Nigerian partners on urbanization efforts. This is just one example of how our partnership with Nigeria is built on shared interests and values, as well as strong people-to-people ties. A secure, democratic, and prosperous Nigeria is good for Nigerians, for the United States, for Africa, and for the world. On behalf of President Biden and the people of the United States, thank you again for welcoming me and the entire presidential delegation.
That's the message from President Biden. Even though President Biden just congratulated the president of Turkey, Erdogan, by himself on his own Twitter, but it's always been the Nigerian embassy, the United States Embassy in Nigeria or United States in Nigeria that keeps sending and delivering the message of President Biden. Well, that's not for tonight. So let's go into the big one. After the swearing for Kolu, it was time for him to give a speech, inspire the country, and begin to build what you can call, healing movement for the people. So they wrote the speech, Bala Bulu, Bulu Bala. They jacked him up very well, pumped him up for today, because they made him realize he was going to be standing up, giving a speech. So he was reading it from the teleprompter, so don't worry about that, okay? But the content of what he read, and then what I want you to check again in this is that apart from all the jargon, so the ones that everything Kolu says now, so many of you will be laughing and laughing. Everything that he does now, a lot of you will be laughing because you are going to be like, oh, it's a joke. But the difference between Kolu that wanted to be president and Kolu that is the presidiot is that any action, anything he says, anything he does, can affect the lives of millions of people. It can affect hundreds of thousands of businesses. It can do a lot. He's no longer that candidate. They've given him that absolute power now. If he wakes up tomorrow and he just does something, it's not going to be Kolu doing things anymore. It's going to be the government of Nigeria. So I don't want you to see it as funny. If it's been a while that you shook your head for Nigeria, here is another opportunity. You know what somebody called the speech? Uninspiring. And majorly like, self-glorification kind of. The speech that could have kind of bring everybody together and say, okay, they're telling you to move on. So let's get to it. Subsidy is gone. I hope you know that. And I hope you understand what that means. Usually, before that, okay, you know what? Let's start with the speech. This is the first one. He said a lot of things, so I've picked out a few ones that I think they worth your attention, our attention. Because once the policy begins to roll out, it's no longer going to be APC Labour versus PDP. It's not going to be Christian versus Muslim. It's going to be all of you, whether you are in Nigeria or you're outside Nigeria. If you haven't learned anything at all, I want you to remember what 8 years of Buhari did to you, even though you are not in Nigeria. You're about to witness the apocalypse. And the sign is there. Like I said, they pumped him up, they jacked him up, they make, you know what I mean? And when it is time, and the whole thing was kind of wearing out, it became confused, deluded on the stage. But let's start with this.
Animal product.
This is him now talking about what he's going to do with the Fulani terrorists and their family and Nigerians who have become their victims. The one they disguised as farmers' others clashes. Balabulu.
Animal product. A nationwide program for the storage and facilities to reduce spoilage and waste. All of that will be undertaken. Agricultural hubs will be created throughout the nation to increase production and engage in credit, promote credit, engage in value-added processing. The livestock will introduce the best modern practices and steps taken to minimize the perennial conflict. Through this, food will be made more abundant, yet less costly. Farmers shall earn more while the average Nigerians pay less. On infrastructure, we shall continue the effort of the Buhari administration on infrastructure development area, and know how many railroad and water construction are. On fuel subsidy, unfortunate, the budget that I've glimpsed before I assumed office and what I've heard is that no provision is there for fuel subsidy.
Do you see what he just dropped there? It's a bombshell that Nigeria economy, all of you, are going to react to tomorrow morning. From tomorrow morning, the chaos, the confusion and all of that. So then they will begin to say, oh, okay, no, that's not what we meant. So they will begin to readjust it and take back their words. I know they didn't remove subsidy. What they will do is that they will need to send supplementary budget. Here you get, so that they can get some money and pay for it for some time. That's how you're going to enter the Tinubu subsidy racket too. Don't worry. You will get to know that, what do you call it? Dangote refinery is not for charity, as they have been telling you, but we'll get to that part too. So it's going to build silos for farmers. Is going to, like all the mumbo jumbo about border, then build silo to reduce farmers' others clashes. Because let's say it's kind of using political correctness. There is no farmers' others clashes. Fulani terrorists, armed terrorists. They want the land, I mean the people's land. Buhari protected them from people to fight back after withdrawing the Nigerian military from defending the people in Nigeria. That's what is going on. Or if they want to build silos and all of that, time will tell now how that is going to resolve the people who have intention of taking people's lands. That even Buhari spent 8 years trying to make laws that will force people to cede their lands for this armed terrorist dancing around it. You remember they wrote the thing for him, Abi? Here is another part I want you to, all of us, to listen to. I'm coming back.
And that we materially provide for people. Monetary policy. Do house cleaning, thorough house cleaning is necessary. The central bank must work towards a unified exchange rate. This will direct the fund from arbitrage to meaningful investment and the plant and equipment. Jobs that are powered, that will power the real economy. Interest rate needs to come down. Currently too high. Anti-people, anti-business. We have to work on all of them. To me, I know I've taken you through a winding time, a long time today. I will end this.
That was when he was becoming tired. But I wanted to share that small part where he sent a sort of a cryptic message to Emefiole. A thorough house cleaning is needed in that central bank. Emefiole better be on the run. That study leave that Buhari granted him, I hope he is not in Nigeria right now. Emefiole will be like Sambo Dasuki. Tinubu and gang, they will make Emefiole, they will use Emefiole as the scapegoat of Buhari's government, right? You get so tired of Emefiole. He better be on the run. Sambo Dasuki Part 2. You will be hearing that Emefiole stole 500 trillion naira because he wanted to be president. They have discovered Emefiole's house is up. Just wait for it, too. Now, just 24 hours, so they count. Here you get thorough house cleaning. But what is harmonized exchange rate? Did Buhari not say they will make 1 naira to $1? What is a naira to a dollar today? What is naira to the dollar today? 750, 700. So what is unified? Exactly. All talk, no action, Abi. You better get prepared. Some are saying that if you have any money at all left in naira, the ideal thing is that you better go and find a means and change them to either dollars or pound sterling and save them somewhere. 8 years of Buhari. If you are, I know, say this on a big man talk, for those who be big man, we get money, sure you get. But if you had 20 million naira in 2015, by the level of inflation and the destruction of that naira today, 70% of that your money, the value of it have been taken away. Imagine 20 million and you've lost 70% of that. Go and change your 20 million naira, what it was in 2015, with the inflation and all that, then go and change that same back to the same dollar today, and you see what that means. 70% of your money without them touching it. That's exactly what Emefiole and Buhari, that's what they have done. So I understand those who said today is a Black Monday for them. I understand. Politicians all talk, no action. I want to make you listen to this other one too before we go back to that of Emefiole. Yes, I'm going to take calls. At some point, I'm going to begin to take calls, okay? Don't go anywhere.
As far as I'm concerned,
that's not the one.
The GDP much better, achieve the GDP much better than we have today. I assure you.
And sorry, guys, is it just me or the audio? I kind of find it difficult to understand everything Kolu is reading. He's reading it, there's a teleprompter in front of him, left and right, So if you turn left, there is one. If you turn right, there is one, Sure you get? But is it just me that I'm that he's sounding funny, slow, sluggish, and then, it's sounding foreign too. I'm a Yoruba man, so if a Yoruba man is speaking English, right? Or English language like that, you get to know okay, well, it's the tone or it's the accent and all that. Or is it maybe it's just me, Sha? Let's continue.
The GDP much better, achieve the GDP much better than we have today. I assure you. Do that through job creation, food security, and an end to extreme poverty. In our administration, women and youth will feature prominently. Our government will continue to take proactive steps, such as championing a credit culture, to discourage corruption while strengthening the effectiveness and the efficiency of the various anti-corruption agencies. That's to be a continued work in progress. Security shall be top priority of our administration, because neither prosperity nor justice can prevail amid insecurity and violence. To effectively tackle this, we shall reform both our security doctrine and its architecture. We shall invest more in our security personnel, and it means more than an increase in number. We shall provide better training, equipment, pay, and power. On the economy, we target a GDP not less than 6% growth. We aim to accomplish all of this by taking the following steps. Budgetary reform, stimulating the economy without engendering inflation. Industrial policy to utilize the full range of domestic manufacturing and lessen import dependency. The electricity will become more accessible and affordable to businesses and homes alike. Power generation should nearly double, and transmission and distribution network must improve significantly. We will encourage various state governments to continue to participate in this effort. Power generation and distribution of their own. I have a message for our investors.
Keep it to yourself. So did you see what I said earlier of him, like, start kind of, wobbly and wobbly jobbly, right? Like, not that fast, but like slowly. And at a point, more or less like is restless. And most of the time kind of drowsy. This drowsiness, like, and all that, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But I've read the comment and a lot of people said that they sensed that too. But what I actually believe happened there, or you will be witnessing most of the time, is that they will need to be pumping him up all the time for him to withstand the rigor of being president. Sure, you get pushing him here and there, and most of the time, you will never see him. After all of this whole wahala and all that, yeah, within a week or two now, he's going to leave Nigeria. Now that he's president, he can go anywhere he wants in the world, anywhere, without caring for anything. Sure you get. So all they have to tell you that is that he's going on global tour. They've already said it's going to take us, it's going to take 60 days, which is 2 months, that they expect him to announce those who are going to be his cabinet. But Dele Alakori has been appointed to replace Femi Okonu-Adesina. Now, Femi Okonu-Adesina is the one that was with Buhari. Now, Dele Alakori is the one that is taking over from him now. And Dele Alakori, Abi, get yourselves ready. Sure you get. State-sponsored bigotry, state-sponsored divisive rhetorics. This time around, they are in charge. And they can then launch their attack dogs like DSS, Dokwemu Stupid Service. A lot of things are going to go south. I know some of you are already saying to yourself, you know what you are getting yourselves involved in. I wish you all the best, though. This is the same thing I said in 2015. I said, I wish you what you wish yourselves. In 2019, I said the same thing. Here you get. So this time around, I'm going to say the same thing. I wish you what you wish yourself. The end will justify the means. But I have seen so many of you haven't realized what you are up against. You are already telling yourselves, I'm going to They are telling themselves, no matter how bad Nigeria become on that Tinubu, it will not affect me and my family. It will not affect, no matter how bad Nigeria is, me and my family, we will benefit from Tinubu's government. These are the prayers I've been reading on social media. They know what they are up against. But typical Nigerians, when they give testimony, for example, praise God, they say, hallelujah. Praise, hallelujah. What's happen? God is so marvelous. And, we were 50 that applied for this job. I fasted. I prayed. And guess what? Out of 50 people, they only picked me, which means God loved me. That's even very good, Abi. That one is kind of fair, Abi. Have you heard where people are doing Thanksgiving? Because out of 20 people in a bus, only them and 2 other people survived. The remaining 17 people, including driver, they died, but God loved them. And therefore, so somebody once told me that a church, a church was going for a crusade. An accident then happened. So, few months after that, those who survived, they decided to do Thanksgiving. It became so awkward when those who survived that ghastly accident in the same church, when they were giving their Thanksgiving, how God loved them, how God spared them, and the families of those who are members of the church too, who died. Those who died in the ghastly accident, their families were in the church, and they were like, listening to those God loved. How come God didn't love their own loved ones, that they died? That kind of, it became so awkward. Somebody reported that. So, no matter how bad Nigeria is, no matter how poor people are becoming in Nigeria, as long as it's not going to affect me and my family, then God is merciful. Anybody that says, Tinubu is going to, that's your problem. Me, I have told God that God will shake in the Jesus. That's not how it works. It's not what, it doesn't work that way. Okay, you get. Bad politicians, well, they can be managed. But bad policies that affect lives of millions, no, you can't forgive that. You can't put that on God. You can't be so different from others. When actually what happened is that they are going to, as they have done, they're going to shrink further the space of opportunity. And those of you who are going to get a chance here and there, 1 or 2, 3, you are not the textbook definition of success. Just check the number. Okay, if you want, someone saying that no matter how they say Buhari is this and that in this Nigeria, some people became billionaire now. Some people were building houses now. At least some people were like, some people make money because some people built houses. Some people bought new cars. Some people got new jobs. Some people make more money. Therefore, those who became unfortunate during that period, statistically, which has shown that 8 years that has made Nigeria the poverty capital of the world. When they say poverty capital of the world, 140 million Nigerians living in poverty. They are human beings, ladies and gentlemen. Children are going to bed hungry because their parents and all of them, they can't really afford anymore. As the economy opportunity continue to dwindle, poverty continue to skyrocket. There in between, you will see those that are saying, at least they are still doing party every Friday. They say Nigeria is bad, Nigeria is bad, Nigeria is poor, Nigeria is poor. They are still doing party every weekend. But guess what? A lot of them are also dying young, not because of something that if I say it to them today, they couldn't